If you're struggling to grow your coaching business and you keep looking for the latest business blueprint or strategy, you keep downloading PDFs and resources shared by other business mentors or coaches, I want to ask you to stop it right now. The reason why you can't grow your business, it's not because you don't have the latest business strategy, but it's something a lot deeper. It's something internal. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how to scale your coaching business to the next level without any other business blueprint, even if you're still stuck in the same place where you were maybe 6 months ago. If you don't know me yet, my name is Alexa. I am a performance coach, and in the past 3 years, I've invested over £20,000 in working with business coaches or mentors, and all the money went out the window because these coaches could not deliver the promise to grow my business. At that point, I was a sports mindset coach, and although I had a few clients, I wanted to grow my business. So I went to work with these people. Of course, these coaches or mentors, they did provide, as they said, they showed me the structure, the strategy of a business. They gave me a business blueprint, but guess what? It did not work for me. And it took me over £20,000 and 3 years of my life to understand the root cause of my problem, why I could not grow my business. And in this video, I'm going to share with you and I'm going to explain where is it all coming from. That being said, in the first part of the video, I am going to explain to you and I'm going to help you identify the exact root cause of your specific problem, your specific struggle, not the general one that applies to everyone, but yours. If you do the work like I'm explaining, you'll be able to see your own one. Then after we identify the root cause of your struggles, I'm gonna help you make the shift that you need, which is not a business strategy shift that you need to make, but an internal one. It's a mindset shift that you need to make in order for you to start progressing and seeing results. And the second part of the video is gonna be heavily inclined into showing you exactly what you need to do. The 3 steps that you can take today if you want to see the results, and I'm gonna provide the exact tools that you need for that as well. Without any further ado, let's start the work. Let's see where is all coming from. So like I said, it's the reason why you struggle to grow a business is not because of a strategy. All coaches out there, including me, probably you if you're still watching this video, we know that we need a business strategy. We know that we need a plan to follow. But even if we have the whole business blueprint laid down in front of us, step by step by step, with every single task that we need to do daily, we still struggle to do so. And why is that? It's not because we're lazy. It's not because we don't have the confidence or we don't have the big extreme skills of those top coaches. It's none of that. But it's an internal resistance that is holding us back. Now, before I'm explaining anything further, I want to walk you through the story of my client Q. When she came to work with me in December, she wanted to grow her school community because that was her business model, but she was stuck at only 4 members for 4 months. We started working together and we identified the root cause, why she keeps doing the work, but she doesn't have anyone joining her community. Where was it all coming from? And in only 2 weeks after we were working together, she managed to grow her community to 80 members. And 2 weeks after that, she grew it even further to 120 members. Now, we haven't done any advertising. She had no social media presence. She only used the same tools that she was already using in her business to grow her community. How was this possible? We looked at what was holding her back from an internal perspective. What was her resistance at that point? We done the work. She grew the members, the community. She grew it even further. And then one day she called me saying that she needs to take a break. She needs to go back to her family and she'll be out there for a while. Sometimes people have personal reasons to do so. But again, just because you're in a different country, it doesn't mean that you can't do the work. She stopped putting in the work, and one day I realized what was happening. I tried to contact her and say, Q, what's happening? Why are you not present? Why everything is dying around your business, around you, it's dying. I did not hear anything from her for, I think, more than a week. And one day she sent me a voice note saying that, Alexandra, look, I received a message. You're all right. Everything is dying around me. But I had such a powerful resistance even to open up your text message to read it. That's when I realized that there is something even more deeper that's going to affect her business growth. So I proposed to her to jump on a call, to sit down and to be open and honest with me. What happened? What actually happened in her past? And we realized that was a highly emotional event when she was around 12 years old that happened in her life, which affected the way she believed in herself, her abilities, and the way she trusted the world around her, which even further affected her ability to put herself out, to create content, to trust people. Every single time she was getting closer to achieve goals or the success that she wanted, she would turn around and run in the opposite direction and let everything die. That is an internal fear that she doesn't believe that the world out there is safe for her, and every time she's getting close to something, close to things that she wants, that's gonna hurt her, that's gonna affect her even more, and she's got a fear of being rejected. Now, what is the point of this story? How is this applying to you? I want to take it even further, because the childhood experiences and adolescence experiences shapes the way we see ourselves, the way we see the people around us and the world around us. Our beliefs, actions, feelings, emotions. In childhood, during the childhood, as a child, we are born with a need and a want to connect and to build relationships. And that starts with the close circle, which is our family, our mom and dad, then siblings, then further away family. And we quickly learn how the world around functions. If we cry because we're thirsty, because we want milk, and mom comes with milk, okay, when I need milk, and if I cry, mom comes. If I cry, mom comes, no milk, but she's really quick with me, that means danger, means potential danger. If I cry, no one comes to me, that means that I am on my own. I have to figure out on my own how am I going to survive. You have to remember that our brain's only purpose is to keep us alive. As a child, we cannot survive on our own. We need the adults around us to keep us safe and to provide food and water and a shelter for us. Therefore, we relate our behavior. If I say, do things, react like this, how is my mom gonna react? How is my dad gonna react? If I say and do things like this, what's gonna happen with the world around me? So we form our view about the world, about the people around us, and what's gonna happen with us. First, what's gonna happen to me? If I say these things, what's gonna happen to me? If I react like this, what's gonna happen to me? If I'm expressing emotions, what's gonna happen to me? And we learn that quickly. And then we have our first lessons of life, and then we continue to apply. Okay, last time I've learned this. Let me try it again. Is it gonna happen the same? Oh, it happened the same. Next time, therefore, if I do this or say this, it's gonna happen the same. So we go with the same lessons through adolescence and then later on adulthood. Of course, sometimes we learn that our first lessons were not true and we can change them. Sometimes, some other times, our experiences during adolescence can completely change our lessons, but not into good ones, not into healthy ones. Again, even worse ones. So therefore, everything starts during childhood, and we form something which psychologists call our working model, The working model is our beliefs, emotions, feelings, how we see ourselves, how we relate ourselves to the world. And then, of course, it shapes your beliefs and it forms the working model. And if we're not changing this, if we're not actively going about changing this working model, it's going to heavily impact our business. So like I said, the first blueprint is built by our parents. Then as we move through life, as we grow, we go to school and we have our teachers and peers and we interact with them. Then around between 13 to 18, we form our identity. The way we see ourselves is completely formed. And then moving into the adulthood life is going to impact our business. Now, if we look at this, the key element here is relationships. How we relate to our close family, and then further ones like the school teachers, grandparents, neighbors, so on and so forth, and then how we relate to the world around us. The key element is relationships. What is the link between forming relationships and being able to build a successful business? Well, what is a business in the end? You cannot have a successful business if you don't have successful relationships. Even if you create like a faceless YouTube video or business model, any business needs relationships. If you're not able to build and sustain relationships, you cannot build a successful business. Why? As a coach, you work with people. You need to put yourself out there. You must create content for people to be able to see you, to learn about you, to build trust, and then connect with you. If you're not able to do so because you think that, well, I don't really look good on camera. Look, yesterday, I've been to the gym and I had an accident over there. Now, I have a really big bump here on my head. And yesterday I was thinking, well, I can't record this video. But today I know that I have to, because this material needs to go out there to reach you, to help you identify your struggles and overcome them. I need to record this material for my clients to understand as well. If I have a belief that I don't look good on camera, I don't speak well, what would people behind the screen will think about me? I would never go and record this video, at least until this bump over here is healed. If you struggle to build relationships, then when your potential client, someone, leads out there are texting you, are contacting you, you are reluctant to open the messages and reply to them. Just like my client Q, you don't feel like opening messages, reading them and replying to them. When you go on discovery calls and someone's asking you, oh, how much does it cost to work with you? You're like, it's £500, but if you sign up today, I can give you a 50% discount. Plus, I have these amazing tools that can help you. Usually, I'm selling them for £100, but you can have that as a bonus. You don't believe that your service is that good just to say it's £500 and just shut up. You don't have that skill, you don't have that strength. So, through the childhood experiences, we form our beliefs, we form our working model, and then, of course, we form ourselves. And from psychology, there is something which is called attachment theory. Probably you've heard about it. And through the attachment theory, we have the secure attachment and insecure attachment. The insecure attachment is the one that is affecting us, and it shows up in three ways. First one is anxious. The anxious person doesn't believe in its own skills and abilities to survive on its own in the world, and all that it knows is that it must please those around him or her in order for those people to stick around them, to please them. They want to please those people. They want to provide that much to the people because they know that if I do everything that I can for these people, they will stick with me and I'm going to be safe. In business, it means that, just like I said, you can't say the price of your coaching. You can't close You work for free. You provide so much. If your service is one-to-one and then some WhatsApp support in between your one-to-one sessions, you tell the people, do you know what? You can call me anytime you need. 11 at night, no problem. Just text me when you have a problem. I'll be there for you. You over-deliver, and this leads to burnout. Okay? You cannot chasing client approval. Okay? You cannot trust your work and your ability to grow as a coach, and you always ask your client, do you understand? Is it working? How do you find this? Next day, have you done your exercise? Was it good for you? Was this, was that? You don't believe that whatever you provide, it is good enough. Catastrophizing when a client leaves. Oh my God, where am I going to find my next client? Where is it coming from? Have I done something bad? I'm a bad coach. Oh no, this cannot happen. Okay. Next, it's the avoidant one. The avoidant, it's the opposite. The avoidant believes that he's got all the skills and abilities in the world, and he cannot trust the world around them and people around them, and therefore he's only going to be safe in the world if he's going to be alone, because people around him and the world wants to kill him, wants to hurt him. So this person refuses to ask for help, because if someone offers help or even comes and say, hey, do you need anything? He thinks like, why are you asking? What is behind this question? What's your actual interest in helping me? Therefore, tends to work alone to exhaustion. It doesn't outsource people. It doesn't tend to delegate. It doesn't tend to ask for help. And then it's hiding from visibility. It's the type of coach who creates endless courses, endless resources, put it out there, but it doesn't put up its face. It prefers not to work one-to-one with the clients. It's just, okay, I'm going to give you everything you need. You go and do your work on your own. Just let me know if it works, and if you need any help. If you need any help, I'm going to give you more resources, and you figure out. And then, of course, it keeps working on and on and on and on, because the avoidant ones only, they trust themselves that they have the skills and abilities to succeed, but they only validate themselves through the work that they do. Therefore, they have to do the work and they have to be successful. If something doesn't work, it says that they're not good enough, they don't have the skills, their abilities, therefore they will not survive in this world. And then the final one is called disorganized attachment. This is a bit more complicated. Probably majority of you watching this video, you're gonna find yourself in this position. This type of coach is the type of coach who gets a business plan, everything detailed, is so excited to work, wakes up at 3-4 in the morning to start working, doing the work all day long, so excited, so focused. A month later down the line, everything is shut down. You cannot even open the laptop. You cannot even respond to your clients. You stop creating content, you run away. This disorganized pattern is my client Q. You keep starting and stopping, and you stop when you start seeing results, because you have a subconscious fear that when you approach success, that success is the same thing that's going to hurt you. During childhood, the same thing that provided you safety and love was the same thing that also hurt you. And therefore, every time you run after your goals, you are excited and you want them, you want to create relationships. And once you're getting closer, you realize that, hold on a minute, this is the thing that I want the most, but the same thing has the potential to hurt me. If I'm successful, if I'm exposed, if I'm out there, there will be people who's going to ridicule me, who are going to talk badly about me, you get the imposter syndrome coming out. You stop creating content. Yeah. Again, you have new ideas all the time. And the thing that happened with this type of coaches, I'm the self in this category, it's not something that happens consciously. You build and one day, oh, do you know what? I'm not going to do the work. I'm just going to stop right there. No, it doesn't happen like this. Instead of focusing on the right work that moves the needle for you, you're focusing on irrelevant tasks, such as, do you know what? I think in my presentation, these colors doesn't look good. The font of this presentation is not so pretty. I need to change it. I need to change the way I'm expressing things. Maybe I need to buy a different domain. You focus on irrelevant tasks instead of doing the tasks that you need. Creating content, speaking to your clients, responding to your clients, reaching out to new people, so on and so forth. So, that being said, now we know where all this is coming from. What is the shift that you need to make? To grow your business, you have to grow first. You have to overcome those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. So, I spoke about my client queue, but all the clients that the clients as in coaching clients that I worked with, they had the same thing in common, which probably is common with you as well, since you're here. They were trying to fix an internal problem with an external solution. You're trying to fix your resistance, internal resistance and limiting beliefs through buying another course, looking for another business blueprint or business system. Okay? Another business system, it will never overcome your limiting beliefs. It will never change the way you see yourself and the world around you and the way you relate to the world around you. So that's why I have created the M.A.P framework. This M.A.P framework is very, very important for you to understand and to remember, because this will be the pillar of your change. So, like I said, we have the 7 levels of transformation, the 7 levels of transformation is not something that I came up with. You can search this. It's a master NLP guy who created this, so there's a lot of research behind this. Now, as a coach, the problem is that in order to make the change, we start at the bottom. We change the environment. Oh, do you know what? I think my office doesn't look good. Only if I have the perfect background, I'm gonna be able to create more videos, more content. Yeah. Then they're trying to change behavior. Okay. Most coaches think that if I wake up at 5 in the morning and I do this, my business is gonna grow. If I start writing to wake up in the morning and write like a diary, to keep a diary, it's gonna change. If I build another resource, if I build templates, if I do this and that to keep my work on track, my business is gonna grow. Absolutely not. The work needs to be done from the top to the bottom. It's the reverse way. If you have a bucket of water, which way it's the easiest way for the water to go? If you throw it from the bottom way up, or if you stand at the top of the pyramid, you throw the water and then it flows nicely down. This is how I make the change. We start at the top and we start with the vision. So, the M.A.P framework that I have created based on the work that I have done with my clients. And bear in mind, before I worked as a sports mindset coach, I am a sports mindset coach, qualified and also graduated psychologist. So again, the work has psychology, frameworks and research in the underneath everything that I'm presenting in here. So the top part of the pyramid represents internal conditions, and this is the focus of this video, and this is the starting point of your work, to fix the internal condition and to align them. So first, I'm calling this the M.A.P because we have a magnetic vision that we need to create first. Then we need to have an alignment mastery to go through the alignment mastery work. And then and only then, once the 2 internal conditions are met, we are ready to move to the 3rd step, which is proven strategy. And the proven strategy, this is the business work that you're gonna do, okay? These are external conditions. So a magnetic vision, you need to create first the vision, the bigger picture that you want to contribute to, which is you have to think in the future. How do you want your business to be like? Who do you want to be as an entrepreneur, as a coach? How do you want your life to look like? Okay. But before I'm going any further, I want to take them one by one: vision, identity, and then values and beliefs. The internal, like I said, in this video, we're focusing on the internal conditions, which are the top 3 from the pyramid. So let me take them one by one. So the vision. Without a vision, we don't know where we're going, towards what we're aiming. So we must create a clear vision of the future self, Otherwise, we keep running based on an old pattern. We keep going back to the safety place, to the old lessons that we learned. Okay, so we need to have a vision because we need to act based on the future person that we want to become, or entrepreneur or coach, whoever it is that you want to become. So you must think about your future self. Who is it that you want to become? Forget about the business, about the coach. You. Who is it that you want to become? What's your daily lifestyle? Think about the perfect day in your life. Don't think about the successful day, but let me reformulate. Think about the Wednesday of your life. Wednesday is the day in the middle of the week. We're busy with work. We want to have a break, so on and so forth. So how would a regular day of your life look like? Nothing too exciting. When would you wake up? What would you do for work? What would you do in the morning, afternoon, evening? How the end of the day is going to look like, so on and so forth. And then you can think about your business vision. How do you want your business to look like? And how do you want to be as an entrepreneur or a coach? You need to put them all in the same line. Okay, your future self. If the future self cannot align with the business vision that you have, then it will not work. So you need to have the big picture. What is it that you want to go towards? Now, when I've done this work with some of my clients, they struggle to build that future vision. And it's normal because with an insecure attachment, especially with disorganized one, the self-concept is affected. And I'm going to speak about this in a minute. But when the self-concept is affected, the way you see yourself and you perceive yourself, it is hard for you to imagine who you want to become, because at this point, you have absolutely no clue who is it that you actually are, or if you know, you're not aware of the whole picture of who you are. So that being said, if it's really hard at this point for you to build a future vision, then think about who is the version of that you already of you that already has this. Think about someone that you really admire around the business that you're doing, the coach that you want to become. What does their daily life look like in detail? If you can, it's kind of easy to find it out now, but if you know somehow, how does it look like? What kind of business are they running? Have that as a starting point and build this vision for yourself. I recommend you take a moment on the day when you are on your own, you are relaxed, you're not stressed about anything, and you can be creative. It's nice and quiet around you. Maybe make yourself a cup of coffee and think about this vision that you have. Take maybe 30 minutes, and I strongly recommend you are writing it down. Okay, not on your phone, typing it, writing it down, pen and paper. Cool. So now once you have the vision, where you're aiming to go, the next step is to work on your identity. If you remember from the pyramid in here, the first is the vision, then is the identity, who you are, your core sense of yourself. Okay, your self-concept in here. So I said a minute ago, I mentioned about the self-concept. So this is what is running your business, and this is what is going to continue to run your business. If your self-concept is broken now, you will not be able to align the vision that you have with the daily actions that you're doing. And this is the problem right now. You are running based on a broken self-concept. You learn in childhood that you are not good enough, you are not strong enough, the world around you is not safe. You cannot put yourself out there in front of people because they will hurt you, they will harm you. If you want people to love you, to appreciate you, you have to give everything that you have to them and forget about yourself. I worked with the client when we went through the self-concept exercise, there's a question over there that it's asking you to write down internal traits that you have. If you can believe it, my client told me that I don't know. He could not come up with not even 3 to 4 internal traits. This is crazy. This is how broken self-concept looks like. And if you're not aware of who you are, who you really are holistically, how can you take your strengths, your weaknesses, your skills to put them into the business to grow your business? How can you rely on yourself to do the work? You can't. So your self-concept shapes everything, including your business. It shapes your life. How you see yourself, the story you tell yourself, and your response to success. Now, the self-concept has three parts. It's the self-image, the way you see yourself holistically, internal and external. Self-worth, how much do you believe that you're worthy? Are you worthy to be paid $1,000 or pounds or euros, whatever, by just one client? Are you worthy to be paid $10,000 by just one client? How does it feel if you are imagining sitting down now on a discovery call with a client, and when the client asks you, how much does it cost to work with you? And you say $10,000. How does it feel like? Try to go through this exercise. So, that being said, in order for us to move forward, we have to fix our self-concept, and we have to develop our self-concept, the way we see ourselves. If you think that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, I skipped ahead, I went too far away. I said that our self-concept is made of self-image, self-worth, and the future self. We discussed about the future self, that's the starting point, and now we have to fix the self-image and the self-worth. So, in order to do so, we have the self-concept exercise. To make it easier for you, if you want to understand how your attachment style is affecting, your current attachment style is affecting your life and your business, I recommend you start here. I have the attachment style quiz. Okay, I'm going to put the link to the resource in the description of this video. So, this attachment style quiz is going to take maybe 10 minutes to go through. It's not me that I came up with this attachment style quiz. This is a quiz developed by a psychologist with many years behind her work, and it is proven, it's been run through tests, so on and so forth. So this quiz helps you identify not only your general attachment style, because until recently it was believed that you have only one attachment style. Now it looks like, depending on the area of our life, we can have different attachment styles. So this quiz helps you identify your general attachment style, but also then to show how this different attachment styles, if you have different ones, in different areas of our life. And there are 7 areas of our life, including relationships with family, with your loved one, but then about the work and about your ability to achieve your goals. So I highly recommend going through this quiz. Now bear in mind, this quiz, it doesn't save your details, so at the end when you get the results, maybe take a screenshot, because otherwise everything is going to be lost. Then once you know your attachment style and how you function and how you relate to the world, now you are ready to go through the self-concept exercise. This self-concept exercise helps you build a healthy self-concept, a holistic one, to see yourself for who you truly are. Once you understand who you are for real, holistically, with all your goods and bads, you will be able to understand, okay, if I want to develop this business, I have these skills, I have these abilities, I can put them in practice, but I also have these brown points. I have to work on these areas if I want to become this, if I want to build this business. And this self-concept exercise helps you to do so. When I went through this exercise with my client Q, she came back to me and she said, "Oh my God, Alexandra, I cannot believe that just by going through this exercise, now I'm so aware about how I function and why I keep going back and forth in my business." And she became more and more aware. She actually told me, I don't want to brag about, but she told me that all years of therapy could not help her realize what she realized just by going through this exercise. So this part is about identifying your self-concept, the way you see yourself right now, identifying your attachment style, and then building a healthy self-concept. Okay, a healthy one, bear in mind, a healthy one, it doesn't mean that we see ourselves only through a positive lens and all the goods and bads. I am the God. It means to acknowledge the good part, the positive skills, abilities that we have, but also the negative ones, the not so good ones, the one that we need to get rid of it because it don't serve us well, or the areas that I lack these skills and abilities, and if I want to become this, I have to build that. And it all starts with acceptance, to accept who you are right now, because right now you are the result of what happened in the past to you, and it was not your fault. This is how the world works, and also what happened in the past and how you perceived things around you, and you internalized everything. So be kind with yourself. Allow yourself a moment to understand that everything that you went through, it shaped who you are. You are the person who you are today. It is okay, and you also have the power and the strength to change it. You just have to do the little work that is required for you to do so. So what are we going to do now? Okay, you know your attachment style, you know how that influences the way you do things in your business. You worked on your self-concept, now you see yourself through a different lens. Now we need to look at values and beliefs, because they must be on the same they must be aligned. Okay, if you don't know your values, I recommend go on Google and write list of values, and you'll find an endless list of values, and choose top 5 values that speak the most to you, that you believe that the most powerful ones to you. We can have different values depending on the area of our life. Okay, but think about, if you want to relate this just to your business, think about the values that guide your business first, and then look at your beliefs. Okay, if you value building a successful business, but also being able to have happy, valuable time with your family, but then you believe that only if you work continuously you'll be able to be successful, well, they're not aligned, because you wake up at 4 in the morning, you start working, you skip breakfast, you skip dinner with your family because you have to work, and then the family time suffers. Okay, so take the list of values, top 5 of them, and then your beliefs. What are your beliefs? When you work through your beliefs, it's really hard to pinpoint, what do I believe? Well, it's hard. You have to catch yourself when something happens. Why are you not creating more content? Why are you not responding to your potential clients when new leads contact you? What is the reason behind not putting yourself on the camera out there? What is the actual belief? What is the reason why you cannot increase the price of your coaching calls or your coaching program? What is it that you actually believe? And see if it aligns with the values. And then look at your self-concept. Okay? What internal skills do I have? What achievements do I have? I don't want to give too much, because I don't want to spoil this self-belief exercise, and if you go through it, you will see why. But when we work through our beliefs, like I said, these beliefs, we can only change them when things happen. And first things first, you must be aware that your belief in the moment that's holding you back from taking the right action, it's not the right belief. And to take a step back and think it through. Is this actually true, what I believe? Is this gonna help me achieve the version of the coach that I want to become and to build the business that I want to become? Or is going to lead me back to the same results that I had in the past? Which way is going to go? Now, sometimes the beliefs that we have, that's so strong that no matter what we tell ourselves, we can't really change them in the moment. Okay? And to help you deal with your beliefs and to change them into healthy beliefs, I have created for you the C.R.A.F.T framework. Again, you find the link down in the description. And for the self-concept, the same. This is the self-concept exercise. You have important details here, and then when you start the exercise in here, if you skip the attachment style quiz, you can take it here, and then you have to describe who you are right now. How do you see yourself, your self-concept? And then you continue with the exercise. Now, going back to the C.R.A.F.T framework. The C.R.A.F.T framework is a framework that helps you change the beliefs that are not serving you well. It's called C.R.A.F.T because it stands for cancel, reframe, affirm, focus, and train. These are the actual steps that you have to go through in order for you to change that negative belief. So if you want to create a video, I'm taking this because it's like a kind of the most common problem. You're afraid of creating videos, creating content, put it out there. So you came with an idea, you know that you have to create this video, you have to create this content, you plan everything, but then when it comes about sitting down and recording the video, things are going wrong. And you think to yourself, I'm not that good, my presentation is not that good. Is this actually going to look okay? You have to say cancel. Cancel these thoughts. These are thoughts that come only from fear. Okay? Just cancel everything. The most powerful one is if you say it out loud to yourself. Now, I have to put a bit of a caution sign in here because I had a client, an athlete, and I gave her this framework because she was happening to have negative self-talk during her training, and she was in the gym and she was starting to having these negative thoughts, and she started saying cancel, cancel, cancel out loud. And then someone from the gym came, hey, are you okay? Why are you saying to yourself cancel? What are you trying to canceling? So people might look a little bit weird at you, and you might look a little bit weird, but it is so powerful. Okay, so the first step is to say out loud cancel. Then you write down the unhelpful thoughts. Sometimes we have just one, which is really powerful. Sometimes we have 2 or 3 unhelpful thoughts going on in that moment. Then after we identify the unhelpful thoughts, we have to reframe. Okay, to be able to reframe these thoughts, you have to be aware of a self-concept, the new self-concept that you created. I mean, it's not new, you're just becoming aware of yourself and the holistic self-concept that you have. So you have to reframe. You take the thought, you look at your self-concept, and then you reframe based on that. Then you affirm. The internet is full of advice to write affirmations on a card, put them all over on your fridge, in your bathroom, so on and so forth. Wake up in the morning, say affirmation. Your mind will not believe anything that you say if you don't believe it, if you don't have the actual proof that you can do that or you are that. Therefore, when you go through the self-concept exercise, in there you also have the hard proof of who you are, because you look at your achievements, you look at the hard proof of the things that you're going to write in there. Again, I don't want to say too much because you will see why in the exercise, but self-concept also helps you get the hard proof so you can create an affirmation that you will believe in that affirmation. Once you have the affirmation, it's time to focus. Start shifting your mindset. Okay, you shift your mindset on what you have to do. Okay, you have to return to execution. You cancel the thing, you reframe it, you affirm to yourself, and then, okay, what was I about to do? I was about to record a video. Now that I know that it doesn't matter what people think about me behind the camera, this is who I am, and the purpose of this video is to help those around me who needs to discover this video. Okay, now it's easy. Let me create the video. Okay, and the last step of it, it's train. Train means to apply the C.R.A.F.T framework every single time you have these unhelpful thoughts. Every single client of mine used this framework. I am using it as well, and every single client of mine said that this is so powerful. Now, when you go through this exercise, you can take the steps. Again, you can use it as it is, but you can take the steps and make a note on your phone. You will see that when you have a negative thought, you only need there's different situations. You only need like 3 or 4, maybe 5 situations where you need to look at the actual steps. Once you do it so, you will quickly learn, and you will not need to rely on any notes or anything. Your mind will go through this framework automatically. So That being said, going back to the presentation, we know now from the pyramid, we know that we have to do the internal work. And we know that first we need to create a vision, which I explained to. This is going to be the first step. Then we know that we need an alignment mastery. We need our identity, values, and beliefs to be aligned with that version of ourselves that we want to become. And in order to do so, you need to apply these exercises. So the next steps, what you have to do now. You have the theory, you have the knowledge, now it's time for you to do the work. And the first thing that you need to do is to do the exercises. I promise you, it's not going to take a long time. And the thing is, you do it only once and you'll see such a massive shift the way you think and you perceive yourself. Okay, so first things to do the exercise, the vision, identity, and values and beliefs exercises. Then you have to align your internal state. Okay, every single time you go about do the work and you have negative thoughts, negative beliefs about yourself, stop for a second and look, who is it that I want to become? Is this thought gonna help me achieve the version that I want to become, or is it gonna send me back to the same thing that I was 6 months ago? Okay, do the alignment, do the work in this exercise. I don't want to say more about it because I'm gonna spoil the exercises, and you will see, you understand why later on. And then once you do the first 2 steps, you have to create your execution plan. Okay, once you went through these exercises, okay, what am I gonna do next? Next time I want to create a video and I'm gonna feel like I want to do something else because I'm so scared. What am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna write the things that I have to do in that moment on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna leave it on my desk where I usually record my videos. So if I start feeling that fear, I need to look on the paper. Oh, okay, I need to take a deep breath, relax, change the way I think, change the way I see myself, and I have to look at my self-concept. Then I have to do the craft exercise, and then I'm good to go. Yeah, so this is the full exercise. This is how you will be able to build your coaching business, to build a successful coaching business, to get yourself unstuck without even going through any other business blueprint. If you already paid a coach, a business mentor, to give you a business plan and you have it already, you know what you need to do. You know, even if you haven't done it so, you know that if you want to grow your business, all you have to do is to create more content, to put yourself out there. You have to be generous with those people, to offer them resources, for them to see that what you're doing, it actually works, and for them to build trust in you, and then they will approach you. You know that you have to have conversation with those potential clients if you want them to sign up. That's all that you have to do. But you have to do this work, and in order for you to do this work, you must have a healthy self-concept. You must see yourself for who you really are, for the skills that you have, all the experience that you have behind you, all the knowledge that you have that you can put in practice, but also for all the skills that you need to build in order to become this ultimate version for yourself. This is how you're going to build a business, not by looking for another business blueprint, downloading another PDF or resources, so on and so forth. So I encourage you to do this work, put it in practice, and if you wish so, also I encourage you to comment under this video to let me know if anything shifted in your mind through watching this video or after doing this work. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.